well. And I present you Judy Betesh of Elvira's All Natural. She's my dream daughter-in-law and I love her.
Hello everybody. So my name is Judith Elvira Tobel Betesh, but everybody calls me Judy. Hippocrates once said, "Let food be thy medicine." And a lot of us don't really know how important food really is and how it can help us with health issues. Since the creation of the world, food has made a very big impact on civilization. From when Adam bit into the apple, from when Abraham invited people into his home as chesed, as Lottie's kitchen does, beautiful thing that they do. Food always played a central role in our lives. My most fondest memories of food began with my grandmother, Alav Shalom, Elvira Faham. She always made everything from scratch. She used the freshest spices. She cooked for families galore, and she never broke a sweat. And she always did it happy. I'm a firm believer when you're happy, when you're creating a masterpiece in the kitchen, you taste it. It really all came together for me when I picked up a book by the Rambam based on fruits and vegetables and how they heal us. And that's when I was really looking into how food can heal. Throughout my marriage, food was medicine for my husband. My husband had 2 kidney transplants, Baruch Hashem. He's doing great, but as we were going through the different doctors and hospitals, his cholesterol was very high. And they kept giving him medication, and the medication, who wants to take a lot of meds? You know, we want to dial down the medicine. So I started doing some research, and I was in school at the time, and I found that olive oil, a cup of olive oil, can actually lower your cholesterol. So we started, I would join him and then I stopped because it doesn't taste good, but he actually enjoyed it, so it was great. And he was off his meds for cholesterol. When his blood pressure went up, olive oil helps with that as well. We gave him a little bit more of olive oil and his blood pressure stable. And lastly, when he had gout, a lot of men get gout. Cherry juice concentrate. You had a couple of tablespoons and a cup of water, and in I would say 6 days it went away, and he didn't have to be on medication. So for me, food really was medicine, and it can be medicine for all of us. Which leads to my Tahini chocolate chip skillet. This is one that's already prepared. This is what it looks like, the finished product, and we do have samples that we're going to pass around. This is my sous chef, by the way, Frida's Flavors, Frida Ashkenazi. She's great. Thank you for being here. So, tahini. Tahini sesame seed paste. Sorry. I preferably like the Aleppo brand. I think it tastes delicious in desserts. This one's great too. But I personally like the Aleppo brand. It's full of copper, selenium. I'm going to go into just making it and I'll talk about the health benefits. So first thing we're going to do is cast iron. Everyone should really have a cast iron skillet. This brings iron into your food. First of all, because it's a dense metal, it cooks the food evenly. You can put it in the oven and you can cook it on the stove. So I actually tried a couple of different products, different pots, pans, and I found this was the most delicious. Skillet came out from this.
We're going to the washroom.
Yes, thank you. We have a whole, it's called Lodge, is the company, and it's a cast iron skillet. We actually have a lot of these at the auction, so put in for that so you can win the package. Okay, so we're going to go. Yes, Frida's going to hand out the samples while I'm creating the skillet. Give me a second. Okay, simple. down, and I'm going to do this up here. What I like to do is do everything in one bowl. Who wants to clean a couple of bowls? I like to mix everything in this together, and then put some gloves on, mix it with your hands, and straight into the skillet. So, first thing, an egg. I like to use organic. I feel like it's healthier, and I see a difference. We're just gonna whisk that in the bowl. Simple, 1, 2, 3. Then next, everyone has the recipe, by the way, on the papers. I'm just going to show it to you. Sometimes visual helps it stay. Next thing is half a cup of tahini. What I like to do, and I feel like really makes a difference, is I spray the cup with coconut oil so it comes right out. Trader Joe's.
Those cookies. That's good, right?
Are we liking the cookies? Those are sugar-free and gluten-free cookies. So this is half a cup. I shook it very well. Make sure to always mix the oil with the sesame paste. It gives it a deeper flavor, and it's most of the health benefits. So simple, 1, 2, 3, half a cup, and in we go. Now tell me that wasn't easy. So always spray your utensils that you're using. Next thing is you can use any sweetener you want. I'm using a liquid stevia that I'm in the middle of creating, so I'll let you know when it's out. It has a delicious flavor. It's a sweet flavor, and it has 0 calories. You can use honey, you can use maple syrup. I just work with clients that can't have sugar, so I came up with something that will help.
Monk sugar.
Monk sugar, some people have stomach issues from, so I'm careful. Yeah, when I work with clients, I give them a health history and then I look at their blood work, because our blood tells the tale, tells how we're really feeling. So look how awesome that cleanup was. I'm sorry? Honey you can use. I'm gonna keep that here. Stevia, any sweetener that you're comfortable with. Next thing is almond flour. I love Costco's almond flour. It works with everything. I make pancakes, I make cakes, I make cookies, I make bread, I make bagels with almond flour. So almond flour is 1 cup of almond flour. Thank you. 1 cup, in we go. Next, what I did was I already pre-measured the baking soda, baking powder. I'm just going to throw that in. Yes, the recipe is on the paper that we're going to be passing out. If you don't have a cast iron skillet, you can make little cookies out of it, or you can use any type of glass. Yeah, you can use a glass bowl, like a glass. It's heavy, but it's exercise. It's very heavy, I know. Okay, next we have a little bit of Himalayan sea salt. Himalayan sea salt is from the ocean. It is much cleaner than regular salt. So my house, we only have Himalayan or Celtic sea salt. Next thing is vanilla extract. Now the reason I brought this is because this is what my mom had in her fridge. I want you to learn to read ingredients. This specific one you would think just has vanilla and alcohol. The third ingredient is water, alcohol, and the third ingredient is sugar. Read your labels. Everything has sugar. So I'm going to be using this because we're not eating this, and this was the only vanilla I had. But read your labels. Get the dairy-free, sugar-free ones. Enjoy Life, Tasha has. There's a lot of companies. They're a little on the expensive side, but they're they're delicious and clean. So I'm going to put some chocolate chips. It's 2/3 of a cup. And then I'm going to keep the rest to put it on top, which I'll show you in a moment. And gloves. Okay, sorry. You're doing great. Isn't she doing great, guys? She's doing great. Another tip, when you want to put these on and it doesn't want to come on, blow. and it goes right on. Well, typically it does. I guess this one didn't want to work. Okay, so what I do, once I get the bug on correctly, is I like to mix it with my hand. It tastes better when you mix with hand. You get to the bottom, you get to the gooiness, you mix it well. And I like to smell it. I like to smell and make sure, simple, just mix, you get to the bottom of it. It's going to be a wet consistency. Frida, can you do me a favor? This is coconut oil. It's the Kirkland brand. I brought it so we can put the oil on the skillet. So what I do is you can oil the skillet with whatever oil you like. I personally like coconut oil. I'm going to show you what this looks like. But all I'm doing, you see, is mixing the chocolate chips, making sure the flour has no air bubbles. This is what it's going to look like. And Frida's going to oil the skillet, which is heavy, but you're eating cleaner. Isn't it worth it? You feel better? And it tastes good. So this is the skillet that she oiled. And you want to just pick it up? Here's what I'm doing, guys. Simple, easy, very easy. And the glove makes it easy for cleanup. Now, you can take a spatula, or I'm doing my hand to just make it more even. Take off the glove. And I'm going to put, I personally like it with a lot of chocolate chips. It's the Tahini. This Aleppo brand gives it a nutty flavor. It's delicious. I just put some chocolate chips on top. This one is Enjoy Life, but there's Pasha. There's a Pasha has no sugar, and I think it's 90% dark chocolate. This is, she knows, the boss.
At 100.
I have the 100 one. It's dark, but it's delicious. You can buy it at any health food store. I frequently go to Wegmans, Dean's here in Jersey. In Brooklyn, I love Natural Frontier. It's on Portellian, off of Coney Island. This is Fleur de Sel, which is like Malden sea salt. It's just flaky salt. It gives it a sweet flavor. Whenever you have a sweet item and you add salt, it enhances the sweetness. It looks like I'm adding a lot, but it's not. It's more for decor. And that's it. You put it in the oven uncovered for 20 minutes at 350, and you're done. Make sure the edges are coming off. You'll see in the oven that it looks like the pan. Any store. This is an 8-inch. It's an 8-inch. They sell 12. They sell 10. It's awesome. You know who sells it also really cheap? Walmart. They're like Amazon, but they're heavy. Oh, they're really heavy. So that's the skillet. I've made it in a larger one. I've actually made it in a cookie sheet, but I'll be honest with you, the flavor is the best in the cast iron. You can make it in one of like these guys. You can make it in a tin covered. It's the flavor, I mean, you just tasted it. It's in the skillet. It's all in the skillet. So, I don't personally double the recipe. I feel like it loses a little bit of its deep flavor, so I would use it once and then, like I actually made 10 skillets to give out as samples. I have 4 of these at home, so I just kept putting them in the oven. Washing, cleaning, back in the oven. So, let me just go back to this. Any more samples? Ready to come back? Okay, guys, we're coming around with 4 samples. Sure. Sorry, there's another question? It is. There's some of them don't have crushed fruit. Sorry? You have to? No, because I'm in the middle of creating something. I'm going to come out with it soon. What can you use instead for a sugar-free? Agave. Well, there's certain agaves you wanted a sugar-free option. I'm gonna look into it. Well, I'm coming out with this hopefully in the end of September. So it'll be available with different flavors. Okay, so what did I use here? I used Tahini, which is full of fiber. It's full of antioxidants. It's full of anti-inflammatory properties. If you're feeling bloated for something you ate, Tahini will help you remove the bloat. So it's an awesome option. It's clean, it's healthy, and it's a staple from our grandparents. I remember my grandparents using Tahini with everything. You know how they use Windex for everything in, what's that movie called? My Big Fat Greek Wedding, Syrians use Tahini. It's delicious. Okay, next thing I'm going to be making is a chickpea pizza. So I personally don't cook with gluten or sugar for myself. I personally had Lyme disease. I got bit by a tick 3 times, so I noticed that diet, when I watch what I eat, I feel better. And gluten bothers me sometimes, so I created this pizza. It's not a pizza dough, but it's more like a pancake made out of chickpea flour. It's chickpea flour, water, and spices. That's it. You can add any spices you want to it. You can make it sweet. I actually make some of them with chocolate. And I put some lavender, coconut, and almonds if I want a sweet treat. The pizza's already made. We're going to give out some samples. Rita's going to cut up some of the pizzas that are already made. These are with pesto. And I'm going to make one now to show you a second of what it looks like when I'm assembling. Okay, so this we can move. Sorry, thank you. So chickpea flour is also very good for lowering cholesterol. It's full of fiber. If you can't go to the bathroom, have some chickpeas. It's also full of protein. For a lot of vegans that don't eat meat, dairy, they have chickpeas. Yes, I'm going to use this now and I'm going to show you what I do. It's simple, easy. I believe in simple and easy is the way to go. I love living in the kitchen and creating stuff, but we don't all have time to do that. Okay. Are you enjoying the samples? No sugar and no gluten, guys. That was a guilt-free dessert. And it freezes beautifully. If you want to make it and freeze a couple of them for when the kids want to eat or their friends are over. So this is the consistency of the chickpea. Okay, it's a little toasty, this one. But you can see it's very flat. Very easy, very simple. You can make it any size you want. I personally make, when I'm making them for certain clients that can't have oil, I'll use a non-stick pan. I don't love non-stick pans. The reason why non-stick pans are not so healthy, if we ever scratch a non-stick pan, the chemicals come out. And we're heating it up, you're just putting chemicals into your food, which cause, God forbid, heart problems, cancer, and a slew of other things that we don't want to deal with. So, if you really can't have oil, I would say heat up a non-scratch, non-stick pan, and I'm going to show you what I did to mix. Give me 1 minute, let me just show you. Yes, you can make these and freeze them, actually. One thing that I see that is missing is the chickpea flour, so I'm just going to improvise and show you what it might look like. 1 cup of chickpea flour, 1 cup of water, simple water, and then what I did was I added smoked paprika to mine. Well, it was here, but I think it's missing now, but it's all good because we have samples. Now these are here we go. This is just the smoked paprika and garlic powder. I love smoked paprika. Trader Joe's has a delicious flavor one. And I mixed these two with a little bit of salt, 1 cup of chickpea flour, 1.5 cups. It's always the same ratio. So if you use 1 cup of chickpea flour, use 1 cup of water. Whisk it. Don't try to use anything else but a whisk. Just whisk and then fry it. Or you can put it in the oven if you want. But again, you're frying it with a non-stick pan. And this is what it comes out like. It's delicious. I actually made quite a couple so we can have some samples. I'm gonna make them now. And then I have pesto. I have all the toppings. Yeah, pass around. She's gonna come pass around now. Thank you so much. While Frida is going to start making these. These are already prepared.
I'm going to go to the back row because they always miss out.
If you use a whole bag of chickpea flour by Bob's Red Mill, it'll come out to, I think it's 4 cups of chickpea flour. And it came out, these are bigger than I usually make them this small. This small. My husband decided to go big, so said go big or go home. So if you're making small, you get like 48. Yeah, you can get a lot of them. And a bag of chickpea flour literally costs $2.80. I mean, it's cheaper. Bob's Red Mill is the company. Any chickpea flours will work, but just use the same ratio of chickpea flour to water. Spice it up with anything you want. You want to put cumin, you want to put barat, you want anything that... No, water could be room temperature, perfectly fine. So Frida's gonna assemble these with. So again, different things you can put on it. I have scallions, pea shoots, radish shoots, tomatoes, kosher checked parsley for Lori's. Anything will make it look elegant. We have pesto. Here we go. I have some homemade pesto, which is gonna. Squeeze bottles are my friend. They're so easy. Guys, fill them up with olive oil and just use it in the kitchen. You'll use less, and it's just easier to use. This is actually chimichurri, which is an Argentinian marinade. My parents are originally from Argentina, grandparents from Syria. So this is a big staple in my house, and I love drizzling some of this over pizza. Or, I've never tried this yet, but this is the balsamic glaze. Put some balsamic on top. I usually modify cornstarch and sugar. I'd rather make it. You should follow Frida's flavors to see how to make it, Frida. You're up. Za'atar, another Syrian delicious spice which you can put on the pizza. So Frida's preparing the pizzas right now. While she's finishing that, one more thing I want to teach you guys about. Anyone ever see this before? This is a gooseberry. You peel it. See a little yellow circle? It's actually a tomato. It is full of vitamin C. They say this has more vitamin C than an orange. You feeling like you have a cold? Have a gooseberry. We're going to pass them around so you guys can taste them. Okay, and last but not least, while Frida's prepping the pizza, sorry. Yeah, these, when you open them, you just peel it, and if you see, they're grown directly on, this from the farmer's market. I have a friend and I get a case every week. My family thinks I'm crazy. Gooseberries. I like dipping them in chocolate. I make this homemade chocolate with lavender and sea salt, and I dip them in, and I leave the wrapper, and it looks so elegant. You could serve that for a Shabbat dessert. They're sweet, aren't they? Go for it. Okay. So guys, we're going to pass this around. You guys can all taste some. Next, last but not least, you can find healthy options in your produce department. So, I was making a lot of chimichurri this week. And we took the parsley. We put a lot of parsley and cilantro in it. So, these are the bottoms of the checked parsley. Right, this is a stem. What would you do with it? You would throw it out. I mean, that's what I used to do. If you put these with hot water, well, I don't have hot water right now, but if you put them inside and you put some hot water, this is good for urinary tract infection. This is good for menstrual cramps. This is good for bloating. This is just, you see what I'm doing? I would prefer you don't use plastic, because if you heat up plastic, it leaks into the water. But for now, this is just for show. Literally, just take some, put it in hot water, cover it, and drink it as a tea. That's just one thing. Next item is our good old corn. Corn on the cob from the farmer's market. When you peel the corn, do you see this? This is called corn silk. It smells like corn. It's delicious. Most people don't eat this, but if you put this also as a tea, this will take down your blood pressure. This will take away kidney stones. This is for bloating. When people, most actually, it's very predominant in European countries where they actually make corn silk tea, which is again just boiling the silk and putting hot water, and there we go. Okay. Last but not least, we have to go back to our Syrian heritage, fennel. Do you know that if you have a stomach ache and your stomach's off, you ate too much, something bothered you, you can take a fennel seed, small little fennel seed, and eat it. You chew it, and that will help with digestion. Or you can make a tea out of it. Anise is awesome. Fennel, anise, I actually mix cumin seeds. If you guys are ever interested in more information, I give cooking classes in Brooklyn, and I work with people one-on-one for health, any type of health issues. And guys, that is it.